In a sleepy hamlet nestled between rolling hills, there lived a young woman named Clara, barely 21, with eyes like the morning sky and hair that danced in the breeze like threads of amber. Her family scraped by in a modest shack, but their love for one another made it a home. Clara found solace in the pages of old novels, her imagination soaring to places she'd never seen. One spring day, while browsing the village square's market stalls, she crossed paths with Daniel, a striking figure with jet-black hair and a grin that could melt the frost off winter. He hailed from a wealthy lineage, his parents lords of a sprawling manor and endless acres. Their meeting sparked an instant connection. Soon, they were inseparable, wandering through orchards or lingering by the brook, trading tales of their lives. Clara spoke of her yearning for adventure, while Daniel confessed his wish to break free from his family's rigid expectations. Friendship blossomed into something deeper, and one golden afternoon, as the sun dipped low, Daniel knelt before her. "Clara, you're my everything. Will you marry me?" Her heart raced as she whispered, "Yes, Daniel, I will." They laughed and held each other, picturing a life intertwined, but shadows loomed over their happiness. Daniel's parents scorned Clara, seeing only her patched clothes and humble roots. "She's beneath you," his mother sneered. "You're meant for better," his father barked. Daniel fought back. "She's worth more than gold. Can't you see that?" Yet their disapproval was unyielding. "Choose her, and you'll lose our support." The ultimatum crushed Daniel's spirit, though he vowed to stand by Clara no matter the cost. Clara felt the weight, too. She loved Daniel fiercely, but dreaded the rift she'd cause. One evening, she met him under an oak tree and said, "I can't let you sacrifice everything for me. Maybe we should let go." Daniel's voice trembled. "Clara, you're my home. I'll find a way." Days turned to weeks, and though he pleaded with his parents, their hearts remained stone. Clara's family, sensing her turmoil, offered gentle counsel. "We only want your joy," her father murmured, "but this love seems cursed with pain." Torn and sleepless, Clara wrestled with her fate. At last, she chose. She found Daniel and said, "I love you beyond measure, but your world won't bend. Let's part as friends." His eyes glistened as he nodded. "I'll honor your choice, but you'll always have me." They clung to each other, mourning the dream they'd lost. Though they stayed in each other's lives, a quiet sorrow settled between them, a love too strong to fade, yet too fragile to claim. Clara poured herself into village life, mending clothes and tending to the sick with a kindness that won every heart. Daniel, meanwhile, took on his family's trade, earning respect while nursing the ache of her absence. When Clara's mother fell ill years later, word reached Daniel. He appeared at her doorstep, arms full of provisions. "I couldn't stay away," he said. Grateful, Clara welcomed his help. He stayed close as her mother healed, their old bond flickering back to life. "You've never changed," she told him, and he replied, "Neither have you." Their friendship rekindled, steady and sure. When Daniel was called to a bustling port town for business, he promised, "I'll send word." Letters flew between them, his filled with tales of ships and markets, hers with the hum of village days. Success followed Daniel, and with it, freedom from his parents' grip. He never forgot Clara. One stormy evening, he returned, rain-soaked and beaming, at her door. "Daniel," she cried, pulling him inside. They talked until dawn, the years melting away. "I still love you," he said, voice firm. "I've built enough to stand on my own. Be with me." Clara's breath caught, but her smile broke through. "I've always loved you, yes." They wed quietly, surrounded by her kin and a handful of allies, though his parents turned their backs. Undeterred, they carved out a life in the port town, facing trials with hands clasped tight. Their love grew roots, unshakable and deep. Time spun on, and children filled their home, bright souls raised on stories of courage and care. As silver streaked their hair, Clara and Daniel sat by their hearth, tracing the map of their lives. Every hardship, every triumph, had led them here. They knew love wasn't a fairy tale. It was a fight, a promise kept, and in that truth, they found their peace, a legacy of devotion that would echo beyond their days. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next video.